Hey guys, welcome to the Testing Academy. My name is Pramod, and in this video, we are starting out the first part of the series of learning Playwright as a from Java perspective. This series is really helpful for the people who want to learn end-to-end web testing using Playwright, especially with the Java. And we will cover from installation to mostly all the topics that Playwright basically have, like selecting selectors, running with a page object model, and you will basically learn in the end how to create your own automation framework out of it. And it will be really helpful for you guys to get started, because right now modern web applications automation is really tough in Selenium. And you have to try the new automation framework which are coming, like Playwright or Cypress, right? So let's get started and let's learn the Playwright from the scratch. Okay, awesome. Let me make myself a little smaller and let's jump into the why you should learn the Playwright, right? This is a really important question, right? First of all, just wanted to tell you that, okay, if you can basically do a 1.5x the video, and that will be great for the experience, right? That I have seen. A couple of my students have said, if we do your video at 1.5x, we are able to grasp the most of the concepts. Okay, so you can do that right now. Awesome. Why you should learn about the Playwright? This is really important, right? Especially for the QA freshers as well as the experienced people who want to enhance their automation knowledge, right? This can be a great tool to learn and add it to your skills in your resume, right? So if you are someone who is looking for an end-to-end automation apart from Selenium, then you can definitely you need to give it a try for a Playwright, right? This is for the QA fresher who want to enhance their skills. If you know about Java, even if you don't know about Java, you will eventually learn, right? You make sure you have a core Java concepts ready with you, and you can start learning the Playwright end-to-end automation, web testing automation. All right, you can use Playwright for UI automation, right? And you can write API testing related cases also with the Playwright, which is very awesome. And we'll see how Playwright is basically, what are the different advantages and disadvantages of Playwright over the Cypress as well as over Selenium in the upcoming sessions also. Okay, and easy to use cross browser tool, which is really important. Playwright is basically works on APIs, and it basically provides you a single API to work on the different WebKits or a rendering engines of a browsers. So you can do a cross browser testing if it is required, which is really important, right? And easy to integrate with the other testing framework. You can integrate with Jest and other frameworks if it required, so you can do that. Knowledge of Java is required. This is for the especially for the QA fresher who don't have QA Java related information, because but what I have seen is that you can manage if you don't have, even if you can manage, because if you are because whatever the code that we are writing, I am basically thinking that as a if it is a fresher, how they are able to understand. So I will give you the concepts side by side also. Okay, but I would recommend to go with the core Java training also, right? Along with this. Awesome. So let's jump into the third slide, which is basically what is the agenda that we are covering. We'll basically cover the going to cover the Playwright, why Playwright is important, about the Playwright, and we'll basically run a simple quick test, right? It's so easy to run the quick test, trust me, in the Playwright. So we'll do in this demo. Okay, awesome. Just wanted to tell you that, guys, this series is basically will set you on a path where you will be learning the end-to-end automation with the Playwright. You will learn about the different concepts, like how to handle the selectors, page object model, introducing how to handle frames and other things which are quite similar with the Selenium that you have learned. So if you are someone who want to learn about the API testing using Postman, Selenium, and end-to-end automation using Selenium, you can watch out my playlist, right? On the sdet.live/ytp, which is YouTube playlist. You can go to that link, or you can go to the channel and go to the playlist list, and where you will see the Selenium related automation. And even if you want to learn about the Cypress, also have covered in the playlist section, make sure you do that. All right. And guys, if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, because it's really important. I am bringing lots of interesting videos in the future. All right, and give a thumbs up if it is helpful for you. All right. Okay, so first of all, what exactly is a playwright? It's very strange, right? The logo is very strange, and what exactly is a playwright? Playwright literally means a person who write plays, actually, and it's irony, right? How they have basically named it. So first of all, let me tell you like what exactly is a playwright, right? Playwright is basically a reliable. Pay attention to the reliable part, because how it is different from Selenium, that's why. But because in whenever we create certain scripts in Selenium, right, if there is a page load is required, if there are modern web applications, there are couple of events happen, right? There is lots of different event loops are happening on the page, and what's happening is Selenium is unable to cope up with these events, right? That's why Playwrights comes in, where it is more reliable and for an end-to-end testing of a modern web applications. So now you will ask me, Pramod, what exactly is a modern web application, right? Modern web applications are nothing but which are basically cloud hosted and scalable. Most of the applications right now you are seeing are modern web, not the banking application, because those are still on the older formats or architectures. They have a SPA behavior which is called as single page application. Single page application is nothing but you will see the view, but in the view the content basically change based on the user actions or events, and there are number of event cycles which are going on behind the scenes which you are not able to see, right? So that's really important. You need to understand about the SPA. So automation of SPA is really challenging in this Selenium point of view, because we have to do waits, we have to take care of waits, locators, and other events also. Okay, and that's where the Playwright comes in, and it handles it very well. Why? Let's we will discuss this, why this is in the upcoming videos. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of SPA application. For example, you have seen Paytm application, right? Paytm web application, which basically it's an Angular web application which is single page, where you will see it's a cloud hosted, and the behavior is basically a single page, where mostly you will see the view changes and based on the action whatever you do. For example, if you want to recharge your phone, if you have a postpaid connection, you want to, if you want to give any electricity bill on the Paytm, right, it's basically you can do that, and that application is basically a single page application. Okay, and here in the mostly in the modern web application, most of the work done is in the backend. All right, that's really important. And here is a link where you can read about it's a Microsoft article. Let me show you here. Let it load. Right, here you can read about the characteristic of a modern web application, and they have given the example like how they are cross platform, easily automatable. There are other things you can talk about. Learn about the modern web application, right? Awesome. So now we know that Playwright is basically able to handle the modern web application automation, right? And here generally SPA, whenever I say SPA, which is single page application, web application, or that interacts with the user, dynamically rewriting the current web page. So basically whatever the web page that you see, it basically dynamically changes based on the user feedback. Okay, so that's really important in the SPA. But if you have seen the traditional websites where we have to load the full page based on the user interaction, right? So we'll basically load the page, but it's basically a static file which are replacing, for example, index.1.html, then after that you have context.html, and here in the SPA nothing happens, only URL changes as well as the content changes. And user will not able to basically differentiate. That's really important, and that's why modern web application are really hard to automate in Selenium, that what I have seen. Okay, so that's where the Playwright comes in. Make sense? Okay, and now what happens is most of the modern web browsers are supporting this modern web applications, right? And they have their own rendering engines. What is rendering engines, Pramod? Rendering engines are nothing but the APIs or the engines which are responsible for basically handling your SPA websites. Okay, for example, Chrome that you guys are already using, right? Which is a Chromium project, right? They are using a rendering engine known as Blink, and they have a set of API available. So anyone can use Blink APIs, which are basically nothing but a rendering engine of that browser. So a browser that you see behind the scene basically use a rendering engine. So whatever the browser that you see here, right, it is using a rendering engine behind the scene. Got the concept, right? Now for a Firefox, it's a Gecko. Generally Firefox uses Gecko, and Safari basically use a WebKit rendering engine behind the scene. And that rendering engine, nothing, is basically whatever the SP application that you have, right? They are basically able to translate, and basically you can see a beautiful view or a Paytm application right in the browser. So that's how it basically works. Okay, cool. So this is clear now. Now, so what happens is why Playwright is important is what Playwright basically provide you a single API, and that API is nothing but a node library which is able to communicate with the all three rendering engines. Okay, so if you know, previously there was a Puppeteer which was able to communicate with the Blink or a Chromium projects, right? So Puppeteer was there which can directly communicate with the Chrome. So now you can that API was available, right? And what you can do is you can write your test automation here, what set of actions, and that automation are directly translated to Chromium engine, and Chrome was able to perform that action. So that was a previous one. If you don't know about the Puppeteer, that's fine. The same team has basically created the Playwright, and now it is basically acquired by Microsoft, which is really important. And now what they have done is they have basically instead of only Blink, which is Chromium, now they have created the same product for the Gecko, which is Firefox, as well as the Safari. So now it becomes a cross-browser tool. And the interesting point is a single API. Pramod, what is single API basically means? Whatever the code that you write, right, it's applicable for Chrome also, it is applicable for Firefox also, it is applicable for Safari also. So they have a very similar code. Okay, so that's why it's a single API here. Okay, now let me go back. So basically now what happens is it's okay, let me go back again and be a marker. Giving everything Selenium can do. So now the single APIs which are basically available, right, it can provide you cross browser now, and Selenium, whatever the Selenium can do, it can do also. Additionally, it provides the important feature which Selenium was not able to do. For example, to catch the life cycle of a page. That's really important, right? I have told you in the modern web application, this is really a challenge where you have log messages, exceptions, page life cycles, event life cycles, and there are many things in modern web application, which is where Selenium basically struggles. Now Playwright basically comes in, which provides you the modern web application automation. So now you will ask me, Pramod, so I have a Angular based application, should I choose Selenium or Playwright? I would recommend choose Cypress or Playwright for this, because what you will see is in the SPA, what I have seen personally, Selenium struggles most of the time, right? And even if the features like inspect, optional, mocking the network request, nor the other features like these features are not available in the Selenium. Okay, so if you are automating any modern web application, if you are able to understand the previous videos, right, I would highly recommend to go with the Playwright for end-to-end automation, UI automation. Okay, it will provide you with the 3 browsers which are cross browser also. Okay, cool, makes sense. And I think it will it's a great step. It's a really a great tool. It's an open source, right? That's and it's basically maintained by Microsoft, so it will go very far according to me. Okay, so since it basically works on a Blink rendering engine, so Chrome and Firefox, Edge is supported, Gecko is supported, and even Opera uses the Blink one, so supported. Firefox is supported. So all the modern browsers you will see are supported, but you will not see the basically Internet Explorer, right? No, there's no support for that. Okay, as of now. So if you want to automate only the modern browsers, go with the Playwright. Okay. Here the advantages of Selenium is that it cannot basically work on the which is IE, Internet Explorer previous parts, right? So here. Okay, now so any browser, and there is only one API. One API basically means the syntax remain the same. So it support these API. Cross platform, Firefox are supported. different languages binding are available, so which is very very important. Now you can automate your test cases. You can write your test cases in TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, .NET and Java. So here we are mostly covering the Java part. You can go with TypeScript, JavaScript, and similar code is applicable. Just you need to convert them into the respectively, and that will work more in the most of the browsers. Okay. You can test on the mobile illumination also, emulation also, that you can do. Give it a try. Okay, cool. Again, just to give you the Playwright perspective, it's a resilient, no flaky test cases because it can auto wait. So here is an interesting feature. Basically, Playwright waits for an element to be action to be performed. Why it can do that? It basically works on the APIs, right? It's a single API which can interact with the rendering engine. So it's a little advanced and smart as compared to the Selenium, where we have to implicitly or explicitly put the weights, right? So it can auto wait. It can do web first assertions. Basically, you can create specific for a dynamic checks. Checks are automatically retired until the necessary condition are met. So you can do the web first assertions. Tracing, you can basically retry your test cases, capture execution, video, screenshots, and eliminate the flakiness. So flakiness was a very, very important and very, very pain, you can say, in the Selenium test cases. So it basically solved the flakiness and auto wait, which is really, really good, and the assertions. So it has a great advantage as compared to the Selenium. Okay. There are no trade-offs. I mean, different browsers are already supported. Multiply everything test scenarios can be spanned. So it can support multiple tabs. So which was a problem in the Cypress. If you know, Cypress doesn't support multi-tab, right? And almost all the application have a multi-tab functionality where different tabs, like this is a tab 1 and this tab 2, right? They basically communicate and we want to verify, right? And this is a very, very challenging in the Cypress. Now it can work with the multiple tabs. So great feature, right? I would recommend Playwright, right? Trusted events, test frameworks, and shadow domes. These are another great, or you can say plus point of a Playwright, right? That we will run. Another thing you can say, it's a fast execution. We have tried out. I have also tried out, and I have read in the articles also. Playwright is very, very fast because it basically works on the rendering engine level. So whatever the test case that you're writing, they are really, really fast as compared to the Cyber, even with the Cypress also. So that's really, really great, right? There are other things like you can create screenshots and other thing, DOM failure and other thing. We'll discuss more in the upcoming features, because these features are also we are covering one by one. Now, why Playwright? You will ask me, like, Pramod, why we are learning Playwright? It supports modern browsers. This is really important. Fast and reliable and auto wait API. It's really a game changer, I think. And automation. Powerful automation capability, multiple tabs and multiple pages are supported. So limitation of Cypress is handled here. So that's why, and maintained by Microsoft, which is really important, because whenever there is an open source project, there should be a company which basically back that open source project, because after that it will die sometime, right? If you know, there are a couple of Selenium pro grids and other things open source were available, and after that sometime they were dead, right? But here behind the scene is Microsoft, so they will be running it for a long time, that I think. Okay, so let's write our first automation framework, a test. First, let's understand what we are doing in it, right? So first of all, it's very simple. We are just basically creating a Maven project and adding a dependency of a Playwright, right? I have added a dependency of 1.171. Depending upon the latest version, you can do that. You can basically change it to it, right? Now you have added a dependency now. Okay, so it's a really, really simple code, which is basically we are creating a object of Playwright, and we are calling a static function of create, right? And now what happens is, I just wanted to give you this example, and I will explain you in the part 2 also. Whenever you open a browser, right, what happens is there is a new tab and there's a URL and a enter button, right? Enter button generally are not mapped. So this is a browser, and after that you will see a page, right? And page after page you will see all the navigation and other things, right? So similarly here the concept is similar. You will create an instance of Playwright will give you the browser will give you the page, and after that page you can do the action. Make sense? Playwright will give you the browser instance will give you the page instance can basically do navigation, and you can write automation after that. Cool. So here what you will see, let me make it yellow and small, right? What we are doing is basically we are let me pull up the marker. So we are basically creating a Playwright object, and this is a static function. It is giving you a Playwright object. We are calling a Chromium. Instead of Chromium, you can ask here the Firefox, you can ask WebKit, and we are launching it, right? So now browser will give you the new page, right? So new function will give you a page object. Now this page object, you can call the all the function like navigate, do click, and other things, right? So this is a URL, and we are basically printing the title here, right? So let's see the direct demo rather than talking about, right? Here I have not added any try catch as of now, and if you see this create function, if you navigate over it, right, let me click accept, right, and see it's a static function which will basically take certain actions, certain parameters, I mean. And here we are launching it, and we are basically saying headless is equal to false, and slow-mo we have added basically slow-mo because we are using rendering APIs, right? So rendering APIs are really fast, and you will not see your automation running in. So if you want to see the automation running, you have to say headless is equal to false, right? And slow-mo 50 basically means I want to slow it so that I can see the automation. All right, I have created a new page out of browser, and after that I have basically clicked on navigation, and I have just added a assertion that it should be page title should be this, and the assertion that right now I am using is from the test.ng. Now you will ask me like, Pramod, how this project is coming up. Basically what you need to do is go to install IntelliJ, go to new project, okay, click on the new project, go select the Maven, and you can create from the archetype if right, and select the quick start. There is a quick start available, right? And when you do that, this structure will be made for you where you will see main and test. And in the pom.xml, I have just added the dependency of Microsoft Playwright and the test.ng. That's it. Okay, 2 dependency. And in the test section, this file, I have basically written this code. I have created a test annotation for a test.ng, and here is the test case that we are running. Okay, and if you are new about what's going on, you can watch out the test.ng tutorials as well as the Maven related cases, but you can follow along with the same one. Create a new project, add the dependency in the pom.xml. These 2 dependency we just need, and in this file delete everything and write down this code with the @test annotation and this code basically, which basically run a simple text. Let's do one thing. Let's run it. Let's run the test case, and we'll basically complete our first video on this. Okay, and it has started. If you see, it's basically starting out, and right now we are running on a Chrome, so it will it will launch a Chrome and because we are running in a headless mode, right, it will basically run it on a Chrome, and it will basically open this URL, right? And if you see, test case is already passed behind the scene. Okay, right, so it is very fast. Let me rerun and show you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, run it again, and you will see very immediately, I mean, it's it will open a window quickly, and after that it just shut down because it's just a navigation, right? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you'll see this Playwright and right, and that's it. Our assertion is passing and works well. So that was it, guys, and I hope you have learned something. So this is the how test unit. Just need to click on quick start and add the dependencies, and that's it. All right, so thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you have learned something, and I hope you are excited to learn more about the Playwright section. And let's jump to the part 2, where you will learn about the Playwright more interesting concepts. Thanks a lot for watching, and please make sure